Hi and welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe and comment what story you would like me to cover next. Let's get into today's story, The Girl in the Geek. We are back home with Nanhee's mom. She's on her phone trying to call her daughter. She can't get through to her. Her new coat is missing. We then go back to the movie. They've eaten all the food. She was hoping the date would be going to the movies or to a nice restaurant or to a cafe, anything. She says it's not bad being in the home theater. But what was the point in dressing up like this to just stay at home? She's gloomy. She keeps thinking to self, when do they finish watching his movies? She reaches for more popcorn, but he reaches out for a hand holding her head. He calls her name, stuttering to speak because her hand tightly. She begins to blush. She thinks that, this is why he wanted to watch the movies with the light off. He's so sneaky. As she gets into the moment, as flashing, suddenly they both flinch. His older sister is hiding behind the sofa. She didn't want to disturb them, but she wants her brother to sign the contract they discussed yesterday. This scares Nanhee, and she screams. Then he asked her how the hell she got in when he changed the passcode, but she argues back to him that she probably knows him better than anyone else. Nanhee, then I asked if she works and lives in the building too, and he just replies, unfortunately, she continues to whisper to him that she thought she was going to leave them alone for 1 month. Why is he signing a contract? Then the older sister turns to her calling her name, telling her to call her sister and ask if the two of them are officially going out. This annoys him so much, and he tells her to let go. And if she breaches the contract, she has to pay 10 times the amount. So to leave her alone, she begins to run away from the siblings, waiting for them to finish their business. We're down in the sister's office, and we see some of her colleagues walking in there here on a Sunday to watch the web conference. But suddenly they spot Ryoko and ask her who is behind her. But before she can reply, he pushes her away. She calls back to her colleagues saying she'll buy them lunch once she's finished with her brother. They confirm all that's her brother. Then she goes into the coffee room and realizes it's the same as the other floor. She sees a little coffee spill on the floor and bends down to wipe it. Then she overhears voices talking about Ryoko. They talk about how he's never had a girlfriend and how his older sister is always trying to set him up a blind date with a married woman in the company. But they both can't believe how handsome and competent. One of the ladies is not too sure if he's that competent, but the other one correct, and says he is the owner of the largest gaming company in the country. She stands by this news and points out he's probably making a lot of money. She puts down her coffee, then says she should be set up on a blind date with him. The other colleague tries to tell her not to do it. As the first day he went on, he wore sweatpants and just talked about programming languages for 6 hours. Besides, she asked if she's not seeing someone already, but she correct and says no. They broke up, and he gave her a $10,000 Hermes bag, and she continues to brag. That is better. He's never dated anyone. Is that why he's easier to train? And it's her birthday soon coming up. She'll probably be able to trick him into buying her a foreign car. Suddenly there's a scary voice that says, "What is this lunatic talking about?" This stands them both. Then she springs up from under the counter, asking the two ladies, what on earth are they talking about? And then she corrects both of them, saying that he is her boyfriend. One of the ladies then grabs a chunk of Nanhee hair and asked what she just said, asked her to call her a lunatic again. Then she attacks back and also grabs her hair. They start fighting, shouting at each other, both to let go. Then Mrs. Jang walks in, asking Nanhee why she's here. Then the other lady in the red starts shouting, saying, "Let go." And who is that old woman? The other colleague corrects her. She owns the building. She is the mother of the boss. This shocked her. We go back to the siblings. They've now signed the contract, saying they're both keep their promise. She has to shake hands, but he says to stop it, and he's never going to ask her for help on his date and just leave them alone. Then suddenly the door opened into him. It is Mom. They're asking, what brings her here? Nanhee is shocked by the state of the sister's office, just as messy. Mom interrupts everyone and asks what's happening. Why are the lights on? And why is everyone here? The siblings quickly button and say they're here to pay back money to each other. The mom then confirm is okay. You two are here for money, but why is Nanhee here? The sister then says she was going to give her some clothes, but Mom is still confused why she overheard someone screaming about someone being their boyfriend. They stand for siblings. He asked, what did she say, that they look around for her? They couldn't see her. They turn around and suddenly receive the office sparkling. She's satisfied. She cleaned the whole office. The mom is so surprised. She tells Daoko to tell Nanhee to come to her office tomorrow. Her secretary will arrange it, and that it's a business matter, so he doesn't have to attend. She then walked away. The couple are back in the elevator together. He then tells her about her meeting tomorrow, and she's spiraling, thinking about if she's going to fire her for cleaning or for fighting another colleague. He then starts asking her about what happened and what she said, but she's so embarrassed she turns away, flushed. Decide closer to her and correct her. Next time she should call him a geek instead. We then see the mom and sister having lunch together. She confirms that her son and the cleaner are having a relationship and tells her daughter to not beat around the bush and tell her the truth. Nanhee is outside of her home. She's so embarrassed she can't believe after one date, she called a man her boyfriend. She thought with someone that Mom caught her. How could she do such a thing? She thinks she's gone crazy, then suddenly her mom opens the gate holding a fish, and she needs to take off the new coat and come inside quietly. They went inside. Together, she'd surprised Mom is not asleep yet. We see Daoko packing up his body pillow into a box, saying he's sorry, and puts her in the cupboard and tells her he can't see multiple people at once, but she's not replied to his text. I hope she's made it home safely. Anything Spectre today. And I satisfied face after cleaning it makes him chuckle. He then stresses there's no reply. Nothing happened. No text. No news. Then suddenly his findings, she can't come in tomorrow. He's disappointed. We go to the next day. We see her reading a card that says Cleaning Business Academy. She's in a meeting with Mom. They're talking about the company is the first time she's heard of it. She then tells her, remember, she told her that she was a cleaning lady before this is a cleaning company, and says, if she is. Wanting a career in cleaning, she can help her, as she thought she was quite talented yesterday. Just, if she's interested, we will go back to him. He's trying to call her, but her phone is off. His colleagues are calling. The director telling. In the meeting is about to start the concern for him. He doesn't look all right. He's walking into walls. He's a mess. Waiting for her reply. She has finished a meeting, and she goes down to his apartment. She don't know how she made her way here. She checks herself in the mirror before going in, putting in his password. She calls his name as she gently walks in. She walks to the computer, set up. He left it on. She's shocked. Well, then go back to him. He's still staggering around in a silent mode as he goes through the front door. He notices a pair of shoes. He's shocked she's in his house. He walked in to find her on the computer. Surprised the same. She calls his name and tell him to wait a moment because he's about to level up. She's talking enthusiastically about the game. Ask him why he never told her that she could play it on the computer too. It's a lot more fun on a big screen. He gets closer to her and spins the chair around, planting a kiss on her lips, stopping her from talking. Lips still locked together in front of the computer, she begins to blush as he pulls away. He starts talking. He thought she dumped him after the first date. He said that his sister told him he was too geeky, so he got dumped after his first date. But he's so happy to see her here, in his house, and playing a game. It makes us so lovable. They both blush, looking endearingly into each other's eyes. Heart beating fast, they get closer. She gets ready for another kiss. Ha ha ha, it's gonna burst. Suddenly, he's shocked. She's leveled up so much in 7 or 8 hours. She stands left with lips puckering, flashed. She's a bit embarrassed. When did that happen? Looking at the desk she's left are messy. She doesn't understand when this happened. It was daytime, when she was here. He corrected. It's 10 p.m. right now. She thought only 2 hours had passed. She's supposed to be home. He laughs. She's so cute in the car. He then asked about meeting his mom earlier today. She explained that his mom gave her an offer. It wasn't expecting to explains that she introduced her to her cleaning business academy. She wanted to help her. He then says his mom is super picky about who she trains personally, so she must really like her, and she must be very talented. He noticed that she saw her talent after she cleaned his sister's office. She's confused. No one has ever told her that, cleaning as a talent. He goes on how she looked like a high-level player when it came to cleaning, And then how happy she looked once it was done washing again. She looks at him. Glasses, sweatpants, unshaven beard, and messy hair. He still looks handsome looking into each other's eyes and blushing. They feel a tingle. They get closer and closer. Then suddenly the taxi man calls out, telling them that they hear the status of both of me. Jump away from each other. She starts saying that that's her house over there, and the woman outside is her mum. She's done, and she doesn't want to get out the car. She asked a taxi driver to go drive away. It's a little later at night. She's tiptoeing into the house, but her mum flicked the switch on and asked her if she's just getting in. She says, yeah, she was just studying in the library, and she's trying to be quiet. Not to wake her up, her mum then says she thought she saw her in a taxi earlier, but it zoomed off. She swore it was her, and there was some guy next to her. She then begins to stutter, saying, a taxi. A guy. No way. And she came back from the library and how she needs to go to sleep. Come on, things back. That she must say, it was dark and only quick, but her daughter has been acting strange these days. Nanhy gets into her room and slams down against the door, a heart pounding. She can't believe she ran into Mum in that exact moment. If a man catches her dating right now in this situation, she poses. She's dating someone right now. It makes her so happy. Inspector Today's kiss and how he called her lovable. She flops down onto her bed, happy and blushing. She thinks how this is her first kiss, not count in the one she accidentally did in her sleep. She go to the bathroom and see if she's got oil on her face. She didn't realize how she looks. She's been playing games all day. She's so embarrassed. How could this be lovable? She's a mess. She then went back up to Mrs. Jang and said she was going to accept her offer to work for her. She wants her that there will be a lot of studying to do, but she says she's determined to do this. She leaves the office. She doesn't know what she's got herself into, but she's got this. She's going to do it within go back into the office and see that the sister was hiding behind the sofa, saying she had to hide. The mum points out that she didn't have to hide, but she feels guilty for breaking the non-disclosure agreement already. She's worried that she's already going to put her precious daughter-in-law candidate into this, and if she's going to push her too hard, she might lose her. But the mum wants to know what kind of person she is, so she's happy with a go back to the hospital. He's finally got his cast off. He's free. She claps. He's all better now. He then asked her if she wants to go on a second date to celebrate getting his cast taken off like they promised last night, and asked her where she wants to go. This makes a heart throb. She then tells them the place she wants to go is a supermarket. He's speechless there in the supermarket. It's even in the basement of the building. She wanted to go on a supermarket date. They get a car and start pushing it around, then everyone starts staring at them, thinking he's some sort of celebrity. He's so handsome. Then we see the two colleagues that she previously had a fight with. They're also at the supermarket. The brunette one looks over, sees them smiling at each other. She looks annoyed. The brunette lady is still looking over, the ginger one. Talk to her about buying snacks for the meeting. The brunette has a black cloud brewing around her stares and into the distance of the couple. The couple are so happy, everyone's staring at them. She's grinning ear to ear. We go back to the colleagues, and the ginger one asked her what she was staring at, but she tries to push the other colleague away and thinks back to the last time she saw that lady and thinks, how did she make a guy like him hers? She's annoyed. The couple walks past the dumpling stand, and the lady working on the counter says that the newlyweds should try the new dumplings. She blushes. She's not a new bride, and they don't have plans on getting married yet. He just walked over and asked if it's shrimp. And she says, yes, it is. Then you see if a dumpling. He smiles and says it looks good as he eats at the lady working, as shocked. She gives him all of them to eat. Then the other ladies from another stand comes along to give him food, to bumping Nanhy out of the way. Then suddenly all the workers are surrounding him, asking him to try their samples and complimenting him on his locks. She grabs him and put them away. She asked it if it's always like that when he comes to the supermarket. But he just tells her it's his first time. He's never done grocery shopping before. Then another man is pushing some boxes behind her, is about to bump into her, but he pulls her out of the way into his arms. She's blushing. She's in his embrace. She thinks heart is going to explode. This is the first time she feels like she's been protected in 30 years. He's embarrassed, people are watching, but she doesn't want him to remove his hand. She wants a bit more. Then suddenly the brunette lady from his sister's office walks over, confirming that he is her boss's brother, smiling as she talks to him. Nan, he thanks back. She knows this woman, how she talked about him, and then they had a fight. He says he doesn't remember who she is. She brings out her wallet and paws out of card and apologizes for how she acted that day. She was truly out of line. He then asked Nanny what happened, but she just tells nothing happened, the brunette lady, but in and says it's the first time she met him. That day, the brunette lady then goes on to talk about how he seemed so nice and how she fell for him at first sight. And she joked around with her boss to introduce them to each other, and there was a bit of a misunderstanding. And it's such a pity that he's already seeing someone. She hands over her business card and introduces herself to him. She hands out the card, but Nanhee snatches it away. They're both a bit speechless. She tears it up. Ryoko then says to the worker that she's a little bit rude. They've just met. And she's already critiquing his life and who he picks a partner without even knowing them. And that she should actually apologize to his girlfriend, and that they don't want to be disturbed as they're on a date. The brunette face turns. What's happening? Manhee is so happy. Nanhee compliments Ryoko. Oh, how he handling her. A brunette is shocked. She apologizes. She didn't realize she was being rude. Again, she'll leave since she's finished introducing herself. We go back to the couple she's touched. She thinks she's fallen for him again, slightly drooling. He's thinking she's a bad person. He can't believe she would say that kind of thing in front of them. Then suddenly, lost in a start, he gets pulled and she plants a kiss on his cheeks. She looks at him and calls his name and tells him that she likes him a lot. He's a little bit embarrassed as they're out in public, but she's not embarrassed at all. She said she'll shout right here, but he covers her mouth before she can do anything more. He's flushed. He doesn't get it. She likes him a lot, but be quiet. They should just go calm down and have some lunch. She then takes his hand and tells him she just wants to have a day at his place today, and they can make lunch together. And he can just teach her how to play games. He stand. Is she serious about what she just said? Of course she is. He starts talking quickly. He thought she wanted to go outside for the next day. So we searched up some nice restaurants and had a bunch of stuff planned before she changes her mind. He grabs her and runs away with her in his arms, saying, "Let's go." We, then seeing another, all his older sister and mom, are there with a secretary. They went through all the events of what happened. They've been following them, seeing what they're up to. They're shocked her son, who has never looked at a woman before, has only been interested in games and 2D characters, is now acting like a normal man, and he's dating their mom and sister, start dancing there. So happy the sister then says they should. Thank Nanhee. But her mom reminds her to not overdo it or she might scare her away. We go to the next day. We see in the office the brunette lady is walking in, scanning her card. As she walks into the office, she's annoyed where all the cleaning lady is hanging out on her floor. The other colleague called the brunette lady over, saying that she needs to hurry up. She walks past a cleaner, but before she goes into the conference, she calls over the cleaner because her hoovering is too loud. And even with the door closed, there would be too much noise as she taps the cleaner on the shoulder. They catch eyes. Nanhee looks at the lady with a brunette hair. The colleague is talking to the lady with a brunette hair, but she's not listening. She's fuming. She can't believe that she's a cleaning lady. Nanhee is all finished. Everything is sparkling around her. She's a little bit annoyed that she has to clean the 8th floor because that's the floor that lady works on, but the boss gave her orders, so she'll do it. She leaves the bathroom and sees the lady again. The lady with the brunette hair crosses her arms and asked if she will be in charge of cleaning this floor, and if she is. She accidentally spilled some coffee in the lobby, so if she could just clean it up, but Nanny, with a mop. And Ihad tells her that she's finished for the day and she can lend her them up so she can clean and dry it. And she says goodbye. Brunette lady gets angry, screaming at her. Who are you telling to mop? I don't care if you're on or off duty, mop. It isn't that what you people do. That's what you're paid for, as she chucks them up down on the floor. Nanhee looks over to the brunette lady again, telling her again that she's finished. So if she wants the coffee to be cleaned up, she will clean it tomorrow morning, or she can clean it up, as it's the mess she made. She begins to push her things away. Brunette lady is so angry she pulls out her phone and begins to tap. She's calling someone. She's telling the person on the phone to come up to the 8th floor right away. Ryoko is in the office. All of his colleagues are surprised. Is that really the director? If we just take your glasses off and dress up what we look like, that to the college. Mama between themselves, is he dating? Why does he look so different? Oh, he's thinking about is her. He wants to go see her. We go back to her. She's thinking, what should she do? The manager and the boss. Mrs. Jang came to the 8th floor. She began to explain that the cleaning lady told her to clean it up herself. Mrs. Jang is annoyed. We don't call our employees cleaning ladies, and ask the brunette lady why her employee has to clean up the coffee she spilled after she clocked out. She's incapable of cleaning it herself. She then takes them up and says if she's incapable of doing something as simple as this, she'll do it. Both the manager and Nan Hee try to jump in and do it for her. The brunette lady says, quietly, she'll do it. She then has them up back to the brunette lady and tells her good, and she needs to make sure to wash and dry them up after she use it. Nan Hee, he's so happy. She has so much respect. We see Ryoko was round the corner, watch all of this. As soon as everyone leaves, the brunette lady chucked the mop on the floor. She's huffing and puffing. She's so mad, Nanny gets a text asking if she'd want to meet on the roof after work. Cheerfully, she says tell colleagues that she'll be leaving and she'll see them tomorrow. But she's confused why they're being so cold. She then texts him back saying that she's in the elevator and she'll meet him on the roof. As soon as he reads the text, he grabs his coat and begins to leave and tells them to only call him if there is emergency. The elevator doors open. She's there inside. It's so busy he can't get in. There's too many people inside, so he walked out of the elevator, but she suddenly decides that she's going to get off for them to hold the elevator. As she tries to swim through the people, the elevator's door closes. She says to him, it's only been a day, but she's missed him so much. Holding a gently hit pulls her in for a big hug. He says he misses her too, and it's only been a day. She then points out that they probably shouldn't do this here, as it's the lobby to his office. He then looks and sees all of his colleagues agape, watching them. He then pulled her along. She asked where they going. Are they going to the rooftop corrector? No, they're going home once they're inside. He asked if he wants a drink. Just takes her off guard. She then tells her that he saw her today at work, and he saw the incident. He saw everything. He asked if everything is really all right. She explains it's all fine, and his mother worked it all out, and she seriously respects his mother. She then blurts out that she could seriously consider marriage if she was to be her mother-in-law. She's so embarrassed that she then goes to grab the coffee from the cupboard. But she's a bit too short, so he helps her and puts it in her hands. She thanks him. He's pressed that behind her. The heart beating fast, he then whispers in her ear, asking her if she wants to sleep over. She looks at him. Does she want to sleep over? They're both blushing. The drawing closer, they start to kiss. Pulling each other closer, she drops the coffee. They continue to smooch. She thinks she's absolutely gonna melt from his kisses, both flushed, as he gently plants kisses all over her, gently sliding his hand under her t-shirt. She pushes him away and says, to wait. He apologizes. He thinks he was in a rush. She says it's okay. She liked it, but she'll be back real soon. She picks up a bag and runs away. He thinks of himself. Was he too hasty? Did he start with her? What did he do? He can't believe he made her leave. She's in the elevator thinking she can't believe her underwear and bra don't match. Of all days, this is the wrong day for this. She's thinking about what style she should go for a cute, innocent, sexy. She's flushed. She also forgot to shave her armpits and legs. She picked up some shaving cream. She thinks about everything she should do. There's too much on her list. We go back to him. He's alone having a teddy on his bed. It's been 3 hours. He can't believe he made a runaway because he acted like a beast. The doorbell then goes. He springs up from bed. It's her. She's carrying some bags. They meet at the front door before she comes in. He tells her to wait. He has something to tell her.